So, Ajay, let's get to the meat of this episode. Let's talk about policy. What should India do? Take me through the different options we have open in front of us.
The first and most important point is that while the United States is the essential power, is the most important country in the world, it is only about one third of the trade of the advanced economies. Okay, so if you add up all the advanced economies of the world, there is a lot waiting to be done. This includes Western Europe, it includes Canada, it includes Chile, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, Israel. So when you make a list of all the advanced economies of the world, there is a lot there. And our job is to embrace these countries. Okay, why? Because advanced economies have the wealth, that these are rich countries where you are actually dealing with a very big GDP. Okay, and India is a poor country, so the Indian GDP is not too big. The Indian GDP is sort of like a UK level GDP. And there is a great deal of GDP out there, and these are opportunities to sell stuff. Second is these are advanced democracies. So you can actually do deals with them. You can go through months of preparation, arrive at treaties, arrive at agreements, and then those agreements will stay for a long, long time. It will not be a personalized policy where suddenly some strong man decides, changes his mind, and things suddenly change. So the problem in working with authoritarian countries is that strongmen are untrustworthy. They can change their mind suddenly. They don't sign agreements and then their word is not good because they're so drunk on their power, they can suddenly change. Nothing is certain. They can keep changing all the time. You and I have an EIE episode on rules versus discretion. Okay. Strongmen feel their power lies in discretion. They can make or break the life of a person. And indeed they can. But that does not induce a good society. A good society is made out of rules and not discretion. You make a better world out of rules and not applying discretion. So the beauty of working with the advanced democracies of the world is that they are wealthy and they know how to negotiate. They share the dream of globalization. You can get deep treaties and agreements with them, and those agreements will hold. They will work. They won't suddenly change. There'll be no sudden U-turn. Okay. And why is that important? Because for any kind of meaningful work in the world of firms, in the world of the economy, you need long-range planning horizons. You need to make investments. So one needs a agreement with the UK that this is the kind of free trade agreement we're going to do. And then it should be in force for 5, 10, 20 years. Once the UK firms and the Indian firms know this, then in an environment of confidence, a variety of strategy teams and business development teams can fall into place where people will treat that policy framework as something trustworthy and stable. And then the private sector will actually respond to those opportunities. When you have personalized policy, it has no credibility because people are thinking, they say something today, they'll say something different tomorrow. So authoritarian countries and strongmen don't command respect from the private sector. So you can say anything, you'll do a speech today, but we know you'll change tomorrow. And so the private sector does not respond, and the private sector will do wait and watch. This is why the right area of focus should be the 2/3 of the advanced economy trade that is sitting outside the United States. So it's sort of like OECD plus a few other countries, excluding the United States. That should be the main zone of attention. Very well. In that zone of attention, what can be done? Okay? Two things can be done. The first is India can and should be a founder member of a new globalization. Okay, so the WTO failed because there was a whole bunch of cheating that individual countries could do. There are better designs of deep trade agreements, DTA, deep trade agreements, where there is a very deep level of commitments to fair play and globalization and, regulation, intellectual property rights, 18 bank branches, all those things are taken care of in a very deep treaty that promises to not do economic nationalism, that promises free and fair movement of trade, of capital, of companies being able to operate and all that. And once that treaty is established, then you've got a stable long-term platform for deep connections between the concerned countries. The most famous example of this nature is the European Union. The European Union can be seen as a DTA, it's a deep trade agreement.